I'm Croatian, he's Serbian, and although we don't give a flying fuck, not everybody seems to understand that.
Like I slid into her DMs as a joke because she was cute.
Slid into my DMs.
Then the first night we ended up talking for 2 hours on the phone. I felt like I was around somebody that I've known my entire life and multiple lifetimes.
I don't think I've ever felt more myself than I do now. I don't think I've ever felt more encouraged to be who I am. And so I got to experience that with you.
People didn't want us to succeed just because I'm Serbian and you're Croatian. I'm very grateful for you, and I love you very much. We're all 95% the same shit, guys.
We're all Bosnian.
A Serbian man and a Croatian woman. A pandemic, 3 continents, more storms than I care to count. And somehow, a cliff in Bondi Beach, Sydney, Australia. We've never actually sat down and talked like this publicly before. About us. About what we got right, what we got wrong. About Canada, Australia, relationships, dopamine, God, and why the most connected generation in history might also be the loneliest. This is That Conversation. Welcome back. It's been a minute.
Welcome back to another episode of NEMSWORLD UNCUT. Today we have a special episode coming at you right from Bondi Beach, Sydney, Australia. We are cooking in the sun, and I'm very, very, very excited to present a very special guest, my other half, my beautiful Paula.
Hello, hello.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Today we're gonna talk about a bunch of stuff going on in the world, relationship, politics. What else are we gonna talk about?
Health, wellness, spirituality, wherever the conversation goes.
Yeah, we are literally cooking in the sun.
Like roasting.
It's the heat of the day. We were supposed to do this in the morning, but we had malfunctions. We're still having malfunctions. The cameras are turning off at random times because of the heat, but we're gonna keep bulldozing through. This is my beautiful Paola. We've been in a relationship for a while now. You might have seen her in the first episode. My first question I ask all my guests is, in a nutshell, who are you and what is your mission?
Oh, that's a good one. Although I was expecting it. Who am I and what is my mission? It's gonna sound cliche, but I do feel like I am a light worker and I feel called to help people to some capacity. Be that through listening to them, making them feel seen and understood in this grandiose thing we call life. Through which vehicle I'll do that, I couldn't tell you. I don't necessarily know, but I do feel called to do that to some capacity somehow, and I'm just trying to figure out how to do that.
So, what are we talking about first? You're visiting me in Australia.
Actually, I have a lot of questions for you.
Okay.
So maybe we turn it around and point it in your direction.
Let's just tell people you came to visit me. We're trying to move here. I got a visa. You shipped me off in advance. I'm living here by the beach.
Yeah.
Very nice. You wanted to move here, so she shipped me off in advance. She's visiting me now because she can't leave her job. But basically, you love this place.
I do love this place, and I can go on for days about why I love this place and how I feel about it and what I think about it, you know, when comparing it to Canada, Eastern Europe, and all of the places that I've traveled to. But, I mean, first take on your end, you landed here in Bondi, Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, as I rub myself down with this mutant fucking sun. Holy.
What are your first impressions?
My first impressions of this place, I feel like the economy is way better than the Canadian economy. Like, we know people that like have gotten their university degrees in Toronto that are going homeless or that are on the verge of going homeless. And, you know, that's not happening here, but it's happening in places like Canada and LA. And basically, it's been a nightmare. It's been an economic nightmare in Canada. Sorry, now we got
On helicopter. Shark watch.
Shark watch. You got a shark watch. Shark attacks is a thing here. It wasn't a thing before, but since I got here, like 12 people got eaten. May they rest in peace, but crazy.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, there's riptides. Like, this isn't a place for swimming. Like, the fucking waves are massive. anyways, the biggest differences is the economy. The weather is beautiful. The seasons are flipped. I've noticed that as outside of the economy, I feel like this place is Canada like 15, 20 years ago. Very similar.
So are we doomed?
I don't know if Australia is doomed. They might be, but at least there's a 10 to 20 year window before it is. So it's nice right now.
Might as well enjoy it while we can.
Yeah. Culturally, it's similar to Canada because of the Commonwealth. But there are certain subtleties that I've noticed, like people are passive, which is also seen with Canadians. Americans aren't passive. I would argue that people might be even more passive here. It might be a Sydney thing, though, because when you talk to the Bogans, they're like the rednecks. They're more upfront. But I don't know. It's interesting. We live in Bondi. This is the most famous surf beach in the world, arguably. It's a very interesting place. You walk around at 5:30 in the morning. It's packed. It's like a nightclub. People are running. Everybody's jacked. Everybody's ripped. Everybody's good looking. There's no black people here, which I find strange. But anyways, they love black people, but there's no black people. So if you're black and you come to Bondi Beach, you'll stand out. Be extra exotic. Yeah, what were we going to talk about? The health. Everybody's health craze here.
Well, no, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about the environment. So, I mean, aside from the economy and aside from this being maybe on a similar trajectory to Canada, what are your impressions of the people, the environment itself? What would you say about someone looking to leave where they currently live in hopes to find something a little bit better on the other end? Because I've noticed that, you know, especially lately, everybody's talking about, I want to leave this country, whether it's an American or a Canadian or someone in the European Union. Everybody just wants to leave, but
Yeah.
Where are you going to go?
That's true. Well, I mean, we've gone downhill since the pandemic as a global sense, and there aren't many places to go. But this is the one place where I notice people aren't suffering to survive. Even if you go to Western Europe, people are like on the grind, and then they try to drown their sorrows when they go to the bar afterwards. Here, there's opportunity still, which I'm like amazed by. Like, I was able to get work within a month of arriving here at a high level. I don't know what's with these guys. Sharks? What's going on?
So helicopters.
They're angry at us for filming. They're gonna drop on us.
I've traveled to a lot of places, and I think one thing that I've always struggled with was feeling as though I can fit in. I think being born and raised in Canada from immigrant parents, I've never necessarily fit in the Canadian environment. But then at the same time, I go visit Croatia, spend time with my family over there, and I also don't feel as though I fit in because I'm a Westerner, you know?
Yeah.
And so I feel like, you know, being an avid traveler, I've always felt this need to want to fit somewhere or call a place home. And I don't know that I've felt that anywhere, but the closest feeling I've had was here.
Yeah.
And I think it's because there's like this really nice balance of, I'd call it Western lifestyle with European.
Yeah.
You know, you have a thriving economy, or so we would think. Again, I don't know enough, but it seems that there's a lot of opportunity here, great lifestyle. Families seem to have something to do. People look happy. They live these really active lifestyles.
Yeah.
They're out and about. And then I really enjoy that you can just stop and sit down and have a coffee. And if you show up to the same place enough times, eventually you become one of the locals with them, you know? They treat you almost as if you're one of theirs.
Yeah.
So I've always felt this like warmth, and I've always felt this welcoming feeling, all while at the same time in a highly functioning society. And, you know, I'm a big beach bum. I've always wanted to live by the water. I think maybe just being, you know, Mediterranean, having Mediterranean
She's
roots.
Dalmatian, that's why. She likes this. We're about to sit on the beach all day. I don't know how 1 hour in the sun, by the way, is like 8 hours.
Just
in
roast
Canadian
like a
sun.
little potato.
It's highest UV rating in the world. That's why I have to rub myself down. Just
Yes, we love it. But no, I feel like this is the closest thing that I felt to home, or at least myself. And, you know, I know that there's still so much more of the world to explore, and even myself, but I think that this has been a great starting point for what I'd look for myself and my future family one day.
it's nice. It is a great place to raise a family. This place specific is very specific, but
Why?
what do you mean why?
Why? What do you mean it's specific?
Oh, Bondi. You know why?
Tell me. Okay, so then, you know, you're here and, you know, you're trying to figure things out, navigate. I think you're kind of in the same situation as me, trying to figure out, plant your roots somewhere. What would you say? Is it your environment, changing your environment, or is it your mindset?
To be honest, I think wherever I go, I'll never fit in because I'm so strange. But like,
Can confirm.
you know, you guys are my tribe online. Like, it might not be a physical place. When we start the revolution and I build like my forest mountain commune, you guys will come over. But like, when it comes to this place, there's more opportunity. The weather's amazing. If you want a job, you'll get a job. We can't say the same thing for North America. It's very, very tough, and even Europe. So it's got the plus sides. There's like some cultural things. Obviously, there's the tall poppy syndrome that I've noticed here in the corporate world in
I've
Australia.
heard about that.
Yeah, it's like it's this weird passive aggressive like competition of who's more humble. Because if you like speak about yourself, like most Americans will speak highly of themselves, especially if they're talking about like, I'm qualified for this or this. I've noticed in this setting that they're kind of like,
They frown upon it.
they frown upon it and they're like, oh, why is he talking about himself? That's so egotistical. But their humility is masked in their own ego, where they're like, who can be more humble?
Interesting.
Who can be more humble? So the humility is kind of fake in that setting. And they did that to Djokovic when he tried to come here, and he didn't lie that he didn't get a vaccine, that he got a vaccine. He was honest. He stood for his morals. And they're like, look at him. And every time he wins the Aussie Open, so it's like split 50-50. Half the Aussies are like straight up, and the other half of the Aussies are kind of like the same shit with Canadians, like woke kind of Canadians, like passive aggressive. So you have that dichotomy. I think you have it everywhere. In the States, they're more loud. So
I think at least here where we've been, what's really interesting is, I mean, their government is more quote unquote liberal. And for those that don't know, liberals are actually considered conservatives in Australia. So it's the opposite. But we're speaking in Canadian American labor and liberals. That's right.
Labor is left and liberal is right.
But for the sake of this conversation, when we refer to liberal, we're talking left. But although the government here is left-leaning or heavily left-leaning, I'm not sure. Again, I don't know enough.
Centrist. I think they're good.
I don't think so, because I think when I speak to actual local Aussies, they completely disagree. And more people are actually right-leaning. And again, I think it's more centrist in general that the people are.
Need centrism.
Right, but I think that everybody's starting to just identify with left versus right, at least as of late, because it makes it a little clearer.
It's stupid. Everything's a spectrum. It's not like black or white, left or right. Anyways, we've gotten into this in the past. But you were going to ask me about Bondi.
Yeah, so I want to know a little bit more on your thoughts on Bondi. I find it really funny. You know, now that you've got a whoop and you're all on your health and wellness journey, I've noticed a common theme here is that everybody, at least on the aesthetic side of things, looks really great. Everybody looks amazing. It's so hot. Everybody's so hot. Yeah. I think everybody does a really great job of taking care of themselves, at least on the outside. But what I find really interesting is everybody looks so amazing, but then there's some level of secret chaos happening at night.
That's the question, is like, why does everyone look amazing? Is it for themselves or is it for their own vanity, right? And you have different characters. You have both, but like you'll notice here at 6 a.m., the hottest people, just jacked, ripped.
Out for a run.
And then every day they're drinking at the same time. And every weekend they're doing hard drugs. So it's like, are you actually in it for the health or are you in it for the vanity of how you look? And maybe it's a bit of both for some people. But I found it funny because like people are like super health oriented and then they're destroying their health with like blow and M and fucking just the drinking culture is massive here.
Yeah.
So like after work, everybody goes out for a drink, but we know like if you're drinking 2 days a week, you're considered an alcoholic. The studies are out. Huberman. Or if you're having over 6 drinks, if you're having over 6 drinks a week, then you're considered an alcoholic. But
Yeah, I do think that the drink culture here is pretty big.
But yeah, that's kind of like, it's funny to me because it's like, are you healthy or are you just doing it for looks?
Yeah, it's like optimizing your health
See all
for
the
self-destruction.
influencers, all the jack people, people on roids. It's just like, what is health to you? You know, people think they're healthy just because they look ripped, but their insides are fucking.
But wait a minute. Now, if we were to compare them to your average American, would you rather that?
Way healthier.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Would you rather they do what they're doing here with the drink culture and the Bondi bags, as we like to call them? Or would you rather be in the higher percentage of obese people who are eating processed foods?
I mean, they're both taxing their hearts. Like, on the outside, net, the Americans are way more unhealthy. And Aussies are way healthier. You have the best beef in the world here. Best meat. Everything's grass-fed, whey, dairy, fucking phenomenal. Like, I buy fucking 10 pounds of meat, grass-fed beef, like a ribeye. They call it Scotch fillet.
I did notice that.
For like $60, bro.
Yeah. I did notice that when I eat here versus anywhere else, specifically in North America, the variety of food that I eat here compared to at home, I don't get as many symptoms, my stomach hurting. So I find that really interesting. It's not so much that I'm changing my entire diet, whether I'm over there or I'm over here, it's that I actually feel a lot better and I'm not dealing with any symptoms and gut health issues as I would in Canada or in the States.
Aussies are way healthier than Americans or North Americans. Canadians are in between, but Aussies are way healthier than everyone in general. They have the best beef in the world, the best whey in the world, the best dairy. Maybe not the best dairy in the world, but they have the best beef in the world for sure. And their meat is fucking insane. And they're way healthier here. So Bondi specifically, yeah, they do the Bondi bags here. That's kind of the vibe here. This is kind of like Santa Monica, Beverly Hills on a famous surf beach. It's the most famous surf beach in the world. It used to be like alternative, kind of like Venice Beach, but then everything gets gentrified.
Yeah.
But as a whole, Aussies are way healthier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you feel happy here? Do you feel like you're fulfilling some aspect of?
I am a social pariah. Everywhere I go, I'm an outsider. I try to fit in. I never do. I got one foot in with every group. I'm good with everybody, but I'm kind of weird, and I accept that.
Do you think it's because you're gay?
You weren't saying that last night when you were farting on me. Shit, fucking ruined my whoop score. You're waking me up in the middle of the night. I hate it. You gotta stop.
That's how I flirt.
What were we gonna talk about? Epstein, decline of the West?
Oh, you're jumping subjects over here. Just let the conversation flow naturally. I mean, yeah, we were talking a little bit about Western society, changing your environment or changing your mindset. You know, again, wanting to just up and leave and go somewhere. Do you think, again, is it your environment, changing your environment that actually makes you happier, or is it your mindset that does that?
Starts with mindset. You gotta, like, I personally knew that Toronto's not my home as of 2019.
They've got something similar to the tall poppy syndrome over there, but in the creative industry, I find.
Screwface capital.
Screwface capital, that's
Toronto.
what it is. What does that mean?
Especially in the arts scene, the creative arts. We have so many talented people in athletics, in arts. We all have to leave. Everybody's cliquey, everybody's jealous of each other, and we all have to leave Canada to pop off. It's like, we don't have the infrastructure to help our creatives, to help our athletes. Now it's getting better, but it's still not there.
But do you think it really comes down to infrastructure, or do you just think it's a poor mentality?
We are one of the biggest cities in the world now, but we still have a village mentality. And we step on each other and we look over our shoulder and we go, yo, who is this guy?
I don't even think people are stepping on each other. I think that they're just walking by.
Yeah.
You know, and I think there comes a point in time, especially, you know, from what I've observed in the creative industry, is if one person starts doing specifically well and their counterparts or their peers that are in a similar industry are lagging behind, at that point, they kind of just leave you astray.
Yeah.
without remembering or realizing that they too were once in that position, and now they're in a position of empowerment where they can continue to help the community.
We've seen with certain individuals recently how they are. You know, even people that you thought that you were cool with on the come up, like, end up being full-fledged narcissists. And it's like everywhere you go, you'll see it, but Toronto is prevalent in it. And you follow them and you think they're funny, you think they're cool, you think they're great people based on how they act in their stories, but they just are pieces of shit. And it's just like, it's really unfortunate, especially if you're on the come up with somebody else and they're not a piece of shit from the beginning, but then they get some fame or they get some clout, or it's usually fame and clout because people don't know how to make money off this shit. So they basically like get some clout, and they fucking, you see their true colors. When the fame, when you have the fame, you have the fucking followers, you see who that person truly is. And I've seen it with multiple people. We're not gonna name names, but it's like,
their currency is selling their soul, I suppose.
yeah, no, and they think they're good. That's the funniest part. They think, like, I'm a good person. I know who I am. I know what I do. And you're just a fucking piece of shit narcissist.
But instead of focusing so much on what we think or feel about other people, what would you do then to change that or be different?
I can't parent these people. It literally starts in the home.
So you can only focus on yourself. So what are you going to do?
I can only focus on myself. So I knew that I needed to leave Toronto in 2019. I lived in LA. As soon as I came back from LA, I knew Toronto wasn't it. Pandemic hit. We fell in love.
We fell in love.
I love you.
I love you too.
And then we got stuck together. And now we're like, okay, we both realized.
We got stuck together.
We got stuck together in the lockdowns.
It was a choice.
And it was
Not
it was
mine.
beautiful. Oh, wow. And then we were like, yo, we got to get out of here. And like, where are we going to go? I was trying to go to the States, trying to go to Austin for so long. I couldn't get a visa. And this place, like, you get a visa right away as a Canadian. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm out. And I've been testing. I like fucking working, grinding, making bank here, like doing good. Like, I'm grateful for the opportunities. It doesn't have that pizzazz that we have in Toronto, that swag that we have in North America. It is very white. Like, it's very whitewashed. It's Anglo-Saxon, but it's got the healthiest people, the healthiest food, beautiful weather. It's 27 degrees.
Feels like 40.
In a March day, and this is considered the fall. So I'm grateful to be here. Some of the nicest people I've ever met are here. We have Shannon over here helping us out, fucking legend.
Shout out to the cameraman, director.
Great cinematographer. I met him like the first week I was here. Great people. I met so many nice people that follow me.
He's a jacked stud.
Yeah. I met so many people that follow me here that are like, hey, you're in Sydney, let me take you out for dinner. A lot of Balkan people here that took me out. Yeah, and then, like, we became friends. Very nice people. They're definitely not from here, Bondi, but like they're out west, like in the boonies, and they're like raw and rugged, but they're very friendly people here.
Nice.
So it's pros and cons to every place, but I'm grateful to be here.
Awesome. So yeah, we got stuck together as a result of the pandemic. 6 years later, here we are. A big hot topic that tends to trend a lot is the dating scene.
Yeah,
and
I heard horror stories about it.
Yeah, I mean, every person that I speak to, funny enough, anywhere that they live, not just here, not just in Toronto, not just in Vancouver. I've got friends all over, and it seems that everybody's kind of grieving about the same thing.
Yeah.
So much that people want someone, but I don't know that they necessarily know or are ready to take on the responsibility of being in a relationship. And, you know, just having looked back at how much we've been through or all of the struggles that we had, because we weren't ready when we wanted to start dating.
I told her I wasn't ready for a relationship, and we ended up in a relationship. And she was like grieving and going through some shit too. You were going through your own shit.
I mean, yeah, it did also last a while and make its way through our relationship for a solid chunk of time. But I mean, the horror stories I'm hearing right now is just that people are very avoidant or anxious and not willing to commit, and they leave when things get challenging. I'm good, thank you.
Well, yeah, I think we've gotten spoiled as a civilization.
How so?
I mean, everything, we don't even know where fucking food comes from. You don't even know that you have to fucking find an animal, slit its throat, bleed it out, chop it into pieces before it goes to the supermarket. You're just like a fat fuck going to the fucking supermarket like, ooh, today I'm gonna eat fucking shrimp tempura and pork loins, not thinking that this animal was fucking slaughtered.
I'm really trying to understand how this circles back to relationships.
It's
and
comfort
love.
because it's the same shit. It trickles into everything. We're just on our fucking phones watching our short form fucking content. Shout out for watching it right now. But at least we're giving you the quality shit that helps you better your brain and your heart and your spirit.
Really enunciating that word, brain.
Fuck, bro.
Brain.
No, like literally, like we're just on our fucking phones. We're fucking trying to escape. We got our addictions, whether it's nicotine, cannabis, alcohol, cocaine, sex, porn, sweets, or fucking food in general, savory, salty or sweet.
And complaining. I feel like people are addicted to complaining too.
Yeah, and the social media, the shit you're looking at right now, shout out to us doing the good one, but it's still bad for you. Like every fucking, we just watched that video on Diary of a CEO with the dopamine expert. Mm-hmm. Any video under 10 minutes has the same effect on your brain as fucking crack cocaine. And if you're giving that to a kid, you're literally frying them for life. Their neural pathways are destroyed for life. So what's that? For our generation, we grew up without this shit, but then we got sucked into it in our early adulthood, like in our late teens. Like, we're getting comfortable. But even before that, the culture doesn't teach you, have a family, grow the culture. Oh, we've been listening to fucking governments, corporations. If you're a liberal, you're like, I don't fuck with these corporations. I don't fuck with the conservative government. I think for myself, I'm not a religious bigot. I'm not an idiot. But you have the same fucking amount of ego as some dogmatic religious freak because you think you're better than them. Like, and then we sit here on our high horses and we're just like, she's too this, or he's too this, or he's not tall enough, or he's into this type of politics, weird, or like our criteria is just, we have so many options. And Aziz Ansari did that book, Modern Romance, right?
Yeah.
We have so many options that we're just getting spoiled by what's the
like
word?
Analysis paralysis.
It's analysis paralysis, but it's also, we have so many options that we're becoming spoiled by our dating options and we're becoming too picky. And because we're becoming too picky, we're letting fucking great opportunities slide, but we don't even know what it means to have a relationship.
Are we getting too picky or are we just becoming an intolerant species? I mean, think about it. On a very simple level, we're becoming so incredibly intolerant of how much time we spend watching a video. Everything is so short-lived.
It's getting shorter and shorter.
And so that lack of tolerance almost translates or transfers through how we actually show up in our day-to-day lives, not only towards ourselves, but towards the people around us. I mean, short-form content, starting and stopping things, not seeing things through, changing jobs, changing friend groups, changing mindsets. And then that transpires into relationships where you're not willing to sit through the uncomfortable, not willing to open your mind, not willing to see the other person for what they are and being accepting. And I just think that there's so much, we're in such an age of information, yet we've become so much more closed-minded, in my opinion.
100%, I agree. We are becoming, and that's where dopamine. So dopamine is the hormone of reward. You get it when you have all these things like sex, anything good, anything that makes you feel good, you get a surge of the dopamine.
That's a quick hit.
It's quick hits. And the more quick hits, it's like glucose spikes. The more quick hits, the more you get addicted to the quick hits, and you need the quick hits to hit a baseline. But your baseline's going lower and lower if you want the cheaper form of dopamine. Whereas when you do hard shit, when you train, where you fucking run, where you fucking swim your ass off, when you fucking lift, or where you hate taxes, and like me and have ADHD and I can't function, my brain can't function when I do anything I don't like with numbers or pragmatism. And you do it, you force yourself to do it, you build your dopamine baseline slowly.
So what do you think we got right and what do you think we got wrong?
I think we needed an atheist liberal revolution from...
Talking about us.
Oh, I thought you meant society.
We're on relationships.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to.
Oh, yeah.
We had our dogma as a society. We had our monotheistic religions.
that taught marriage, but even that was bullshit because the institution wanted marriages to for themselves, so people can create workers. And then we had our atheistic liberal revolution, our scientific revolution, industrial revolution, which we needed to look past the religious dogma and grow. And now we're getting back to Christianity and religion. It's like making a full circle because in that atheism, in that industrial revolution, we lost our meaning.
More helicopters.
Shark watch. So with our liberal, atheistic, scientific revolution, which was necessary to move us forward as a society,
Pendulum is swinging.
we started thinking for ourselves and not believing the church or the institutions and started forming governments. So that was capitalism and communism. And we grew tremendously with both of those systems, no matter what anyone says. We needed both of them to
I
understand.
think it was access to information. I think that there's been more democracy around how people access information. And so naturally, you'll have a more intelligent society. And as a result, you'll have more free thinking. And then as another result of that, you'll have more optionality in what you believe in and what you stand for.
Yeah, I agree. But the thing that happened was Shark Watch.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that that freedom, accessibility of information, and the freedom to explore it should necessarily, I don't want to say it should be given to people. I think that sometimes it could be utilized in the wrong way too, right?
Yeah.
Because then at that point you start to see extremisms.
Well, this is the thing. We don't even know where we come from or who we are. We're a species with amnesia. We got all this scientific shit. We think we're so smart. We don't even know 0.01% of the reality of the universe. And it's like, we think we know everything. Whether you're right-wing religious dogmatist,
Where do
whether
you
you're
think that comes
Trumper,
from?
whether you're a liberal, open-minded atheist. I'm so open-minded, but
Where do
these
you
people,
think that comes from?
it's our ego. But what we lost, we needed this need. We have a hole we need to fill, a spiritual hole. This is the key to the whole thing. We had it when the church or the synagogue or the mosque told us, this is what you do. This is your spiritual connection. We had it then. And then we had it when we're like, no, we're science. And then we had it with science, with liberalism. And now we're realizing like science alone, which is just measuring shit, isn't a fucking spiritual direction. So it's now we're like, okay, now we're back into this searching for meaning. That's why people are going back to religion. And personally, like, there's a lot of truth in religion. I used to talk shit about all the religions because there was a lot of broken messages in it. But like with relationships, a lot of people are going into it with a selfish.
It all comes down to ego. And I think the reality in whether it's religious dogma, whether it's political ideology, whether it's how you explore relationships or show love or receive love, I think a lot of it comes from a place of ego. And I think that at the bottom and at the crux of all of it is this deep want to feel seen. And I think it ultimately comes down to people actually don't have the tools and the resources to see themselves.
Yeah, they outsource it to their partner.
They outsource it to everyone and everything around them. And it's all a big projection of the whole within yourself. And I actually think that that is something that we as a society and we as individuals on a very individual level need to nail down. And everything we're doing is going around that in one big fat circle and leading us in the complete opposite direction.
Yeah, you're chasing.
And I think that we're also so focused on, funny enough, is that, you know, yeah, it's a lot of personal gain. Think about the self, and completely separating from society, completely separating from the family unit, completely separating from relationships. And although we do need to come to ourselves, it's not actually in the way in which we're doing it via our selfishness that we are constantly being bombarded with online.
Yeah, well, leading into the relationship thing, it's like we have our checklist, right? Everybody's got their checklist. Is he this? Is she this? Oh, she does this good, but I don't know about this. And it's like, what are you doing? Did you look at your own checklist? It's like, you should have looked at your checklist before you got in a relationship. And maybe
Well, what's with this obsession of checklists? It's like we become a society of control.
Well, no, I think it's fair to want a criterion of the person you want to spend your life with, but that it's the question of what is the criterion for each person.
The list of criteria, just like all of the options at the supermarket, our list of criteria has gotten so big.
That's what
when
I'm
really
saying.
it should just land on 3 fundamental things. You know, what's your value system? How do you give and receive love? And like, you know, how do you want to raise a family? Like some very simple.
Or if you want one.
Yeah, or if you want one, right?
And whether you're a good person, whether you're an empathetic person.
Right.
Because narcissists and sociopaths get along with each other perfectly because they just use each other and use others. And that could be a system that works for those people. But empaths, like we're both empaths and we're empaths in different ways. I'm empaths with giant groups of people. You're an empath with individuals. Like she can sit down with an individual, make them open up and make them feel heard. I'm learning how to do that. As we can see, she's become the interviewer. But I have empathy towards large masses of groups of people. I understand culture, and I have a big heart towards groups of people.
So let's reel it back.
Where are we
The original
going?
question. The original question was, what do you think we got right? What do you think we've gotten wrong?
In our relationship.
In a way in which it could help other people.
I think when we got into a relationship, I was in a really bad place. I wasn't looking for a relationship. I'll speak of myself first. I was broke as fuck. I knew I couldn't support a woman. I was struggling mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually. And then this little bean comes along.
Little bean.
And I wasn't even like, I slid into her DMs as a joke because she was cute. And I'm just like,
Slid into my DM.
I wasn't hitting on her, maybe a little bit, but like it wasn't like. And then the first night we ended up talking for an hour
I
on
think
the
it was
phone.
2, actually.
2 hours on the phone,
Yeah.
and it was just like natural. And I don't know, you can speak on that. But basically, what I felt when I was around her, I felt like I was around somebody that I've known my entire life and multiple lifetimes, and that was my anchor when I had doubt, when I wasn't sure, when I felt shame that I wasn't where I needed to be as a man. I felt like I asked myself, like, how do I feel around this person? And can I be myself around this person? And I felt that to a T when we met, and I felt amazing being around you. And that was the anchor that carried me through all the tough moments, because we've had a lot of rough patches from multiple angles. And maybe we won't get into it today, but like we've weathered many storms together, and I'm very grateful for you, and I love you very much.
Okay.
What about you?
What do I think we got right?
Well, no, I was just speaking when we met because I wasn't ready, and I told you that, and you had something similar to say. You were just like, let's take it day by day because I'm just surrendering.
Yeah, I think that's sometimes all it takes is just being open to seeing things through and getting through the peaks and the valleys when things get hard, when things get uncomfortable, when things are fun. You know, I think living in the moment and experiencing all the lulls of life are important.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, neither of us were necessarily ready, but I think, again, just as a society, there's this obsession with always being ready to do
ready
things.
For a relationship, ready for marriage, ready for kids.
Right.
Ready for, and you're never fully ready
You're
for
never
any
fully
of them.
ready. You're never fully ready. You have to be-
There's a certain criteria that you should check off, but it's not as big as you think it is.
There's a level of fluidity that you need to accept and that you need to be open to, because it's in those moments of fluidity and through the process and through the journey that you actually learn to enjoy life and yourself and the people around you. So I think just having general openness, and I've always been very much open to some level of spontaneity, not so much structure. Although I do love structure, I do thrive off of structure. I do love just letting things unfold as they're supposed to, whichever direction they take me in. And I think that that's where I've always found the most joy in my life. And so I got to experience that with you. And like you said, you know, we went through a lot of really, really tough moments, but those tough moments are the ones that made us within our relationship and within ourselves. I don't think I've ever felt more myself than I do now. I don't think I've ever felt more encouraged to be who I am and to explore things and to be honest. And yeah, so I think that that's kind of what led us to here and where we are right now.
And you've made me you've made me a much better man. You've helped me become much more responsible and become a better listener because I'm super ADHD.
You're still working on that, though.
Yeah, still working on it. Still working.
It's okay, we'll get there.
And responsibility, you helped me achieve a higher level of manhood, and you helped me become a better listener, and in that sense, a better leader and speaker. And I'm very grateful for you. And for me, I've always pushed for your independence because I know you've struggled with that in your upbringing, in your past, I guess, in certain relationships as well. So I've always pushed for you to be very independent, and I think I'm very proud of what you've become. You're killing it. You're a fucking fintech mogul.
Okay.
You're
simmer down now.
You're killing it. You worked your way up in a very large company, and she's killing it, and I'm very proud of her. And yeah, do you want to chat about some of the things
what do you think we got wrong?
What we got wrong? I think we're doing great.
I think we're doing great too.
Considering, I think we should maybe, I don't know how much detail you want to go into it, but like talk about some of the things we've weathered, because we've had so many points where we could have split up or gone our own separate ways because of external forces. And I think that at the basis, we are great human beings. We love each other, and we want to grow together. But we've had a lot of tough times. Like one of them, like right when we started dating, it was like lockdown. So that fucked us up for like a year and a half. It was weird. We couldn't go out.
A lack of social life within our relationship.
We couldn't,
there was the financial instability. There was the emotional instability.
We didn't have homes we could visit each other at. We couldn't go out because of the lockdowns. We had those barriers, and then we had external barriers.
Well, also just like shifting in our careers or locking in on them. That was
crossroad time.
Yeah, and then
we had family issues.
And then there's the family stuff, right? I mean, for those that don't know, I'm Croatian, he's Serbian, and although we don't give a flying fuck, not everybody seems to understand that. And of course, you know, energetically you feel that, and it impacts your relationship, especially when it hits close to home.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of this stuff because I was raised Yugoslavian. So like I experienced this in, like, not to hate on Croats. I love Croats. I'm with a Croatian woman. I see them as my own people. But in the Croatian community, I've kind of felt like in Toronto. Sorry, not Toronto. GTA. I felt like a social pariah in certain moments, and I didn't even know it was a thing. It's apparently a thing. Kind of like anti-Serbian sentiment, and that really hurt me because I see Croatian people as my people. I'm sure you felt the same way because it's not like you were raised with that, but like...
Yeah, no, I've definitely felt microaggressions growing up, but for me, it was something that I never necessarily lasered in on, so I always just kind of ignored the comments and passed them off as funny, because I think as Balkan people, we have a tendency to do that, where we move through trauma via humor. It's our way to cope. Yeah. I do think that that's one of the really beautiful things about the Balkans, right? Sometimes we're able to turn around and look at ourselves and really just laugh.
People didn't want us to succeed just because I'm Serbian and you're Croatian, which is like hilarious to me. It's news to me because for me, we're all the same. We're all former Yugoslavian.
We're all Bosnian.
Ha! Yeah, well, my baba was Bosnian. Shout out to Bosanci. You guys, next episode that's coming out is actually... we have an episode on the Bosnian pyramids in Sarajevo. Had a fucking amazing time there. I love Bosna. Like, I fucking love it. And people can talk about, oh, Serbs, Croats, and everybody's welcoming. I have not felt that welcome by any place in the Balkans as Bosna. And
what do you think our superpower is as Balkan people / a Serbian Croatian couple? What is our superpower?
Well, luckily we have the Yugoslavian side, which teaches brotherhood and unity. And we've experienced the nationalist side, which teaches, oh, we're better than them out of fear. So we've seen every extreme, and in between we could find a normal ground of, you know, where our similar, we're all 95% the same shit, guys. Like,
and we're maybe less than 5% the same, but we different.
Let us know in the comments if you disagree.
No, you're gonna disagree. We're the best. First it was the amoeba, then there was Bosniaks, or Serbs, or Croats. It's all the same argument. Albanians. But for former Yugoslavs, we're 95% the same. We're 5% different, but we should focus on our similarities and celebrate our 5% differences, because it's beautiful to see like how you do the Advent.
So what's our superpower?
Empathy and love, and we speak the same fucking language. And stop saying it's 5 different languages. It's not. It's called Serbo-Croatian. Sorry, guys.
We're excluding the Bosnians, the Macedonians.
Well, we're all Bosnian, but we're all Bosnians, but we speak Serbo-Croatian.
Yes.
And we're all Macedonian. Shout out to Macedonians, because I don't give you guys enough shout outs. My baba and her whole family lived in Skopje and Ohrid, and Macedonians, for those who don't know, from former Yugoslavia, created Ivar. So everybody wants to claim Ivar. Macedonians created Ivar.
I don't know, man. I think we're still stuck on the whole Burek sa sirom argument. That's one thing we could 100% agree on.
Croats and Serbs?
That's it, baby.
Yeah, there is Burek.
Fuck your pita.
Sorry.
Fuck your pita.
Don't.
I'm kidding.
We're all Bosnian, but we eat Burek sa
Or is
sirom.
it Sirnica? I don't know. I can't keep
We're
up.
Bosnian, we speak Serbo-Croatian, and we eat Burek sa sirom.
What a controversial topic. Who would have thought? What do you think is our biggest kryptonite, our biggest weakness?
As a couple or as people, as a society?
As a couple, a Balkan couple.
If we allow others to meddle into our love and our purity and our connection, we have to stay strong with a shield, because you're gonna have this nationalism, this bullshit. We're fucking grown adults. We like, the problem with our culture is you live with your parents till you're fucking 35 years old, and if you're in Belgrade, they're split.
No shame to anybody who does that, though.
No, I mean, and you guys are out there watching it in your mom's fucking house, in your apartment, but like,
You should be ashamed of yourself.
no, I mean, it makes sense. We're all fucking broke because
Everybody has different reasons to be living at home.
the West has destroyed the Balkans.
But if you feel like you're in a jail cell and you're not excelling as a human being, then maybe you should reconsider where you are in your life and why you're there and what you're doing it for.
The beautiful aspect of the Balkans.
Don't let it all just minimize itself down to saving some money for a down payment for a house. Your life is a lot deeper than that.
Yeah, you learned that.
I did the hard way, and I'm still learning, but it's okay.
Yeah, but you get to live a life. You get to do things. You're not.
A level of freedom on the other side.
People think of the way people are trained like dogs, that it's a white picket fence and kids. You have to fucking live your life. You have to explore shit.
It isn't always that.
And I want that.
It can be both.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, again,
Let's do both.
too much extreme of thinking if you have one thing, you can't have the other. I think you can have a little bit of everything, all within good measure and good balance.
For people that are in a mixed Balkan or a mixed ethnic relationship that have outside forces trying to break them apart, let's say, do you have any advice for those people watching right now?
Ooh, it's tough. It's tough.
Because we came, like, even our buddy, the rapper, we had a rapper friend that was Balkan, and his parents didn't accept his girlfriend. And
I think it really just comes down to you on the individual level and what's important to you, right? Also, like, what are your family dynamics like? How close are you with your family? How separate are you from them? What would you want your future to look like with or without your parents? You have to consider so many layers to the complexity, and ultimately don't let any outside forces be the ones to shape how you think. Really sit with yourself and think about what's important to you, and be okay with either going in a completely different direction than you once might have expected, or take on the position of a diplomat and a peacemaker, if that's going to lead you to what's important to you. It really depends.
If it's not crossing boundaries for your partner.
If it's not crossing boundaries for your partner, if it's not.
Or if it's not crossing boundaries for you, because if you're being put down from, let's say,
I think as Balkan people, there's a lot of emphasis on the family unit, and I think that that's a really beautiful thing. But where it gets tricky is when the family unit starts being the source of your pain. And so it's a very tricky line to walk, because you might, it's like Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, right? Where is he going to fall? Does he have to fall, right?
You as an adult need to decide if you love the person that you're with and they're a beautiful human being, You need to go with them and you need to fight for them. And if it's your family, if it's your cousins, if
Don't
it's
make
your
any
friends,
decisions based on your family, though. You have
Yeah.
to come to those determinations on whether or not you're actually happy in that relationship beyond what your family has to say
Exactly.
or what other people think, right? So really try to mute that so that you can think for yourself and come to your own conclusions.
Did you want to talk about any other Balkan stuff? Or
No, not necessarily. I think, I know we have to wrap it up right now, so
We
let's
got
just
like
make it
2
really
minutes.
quick. I know.
you want to ask
Nem.
about spirituality?
Well, there's so many things that we need to talk about. I want to talk about the fact that you picked up the Bible recently as somebody who was an atheist for a very long time, went down a spiritual path. We know
I was
you've read
spiritual after being an
You've
atheist.
read the Bhagavad Gita, you've read the Tao Te Ching, you've read the Buddhist
Dhammapada.
Dhammapada. How do you say it?
I think it's Dhammapada.
Dhammapada?
It's been a while. I gotta read
Something
it
like that. Anyways, you've read a lot of philosophies, and now you've recently picked up the Bible, and I'd love to touch on, what it is that you're seeking, and what do you think people look to when they try to connect with some sense of religion. But then on the other side, I also want to talk about what your mission is, and
Let me try to sum it up. I'm a truth seeker. I'm here to find out the truth. We'll never fully know the objective truth because we're just human beings. I believe I'm a spirit that was reincarnated here to find out more information and lead people to waking up by waking up myself. So I'm trying to wake up. I'm always trying to learn. I have no bias towards any. Obviously, we all have our bias. I have my bias, but I'm not trying to have a bias. So I'm looking to be proven wrong. I'm constantly changing my opinions. I'm seeking for the truth. I'm very spiritual. I felt the presence of the universe, of God, through meditation. When I started meditating, when I was 19 years old as an atheist, I cannot explain it to the atheists watching out there. You'll think that it was some concoction of chemicals in my brain. I would argue it could be, but it's not just that.
so you're seeking the truth to some
I'm
capacity.
seeking the truth, and I like to learn. So I have this empathy towards.
Do you think it comes from a
humanity.
place of ego? Or do
No.
you think that you're
No.
doing it for a greater reason?
No, I think there's zero ego in my chase
Spiritual
for
journey?
the truth. I think there's ego in my creative pursuits. I think there's ego in my need to be successful. But in my biggest pursuit of truth, I think it's the least ego is just me connected to something higher, and I'm constantly seeking. And I want to acquire as much information as I can. I have a very unique perspective. My dad taught me to think for myself and not as a group, not as a Serb, as a Canadian, or as a left or a right or whatever. Think for yourself. I have a scientific upbringing, so I looked at everything through that lens, and I had a spiritual awakening when I was 19, 20. So I used to talk shit about Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Now I'm dissecting every book, and if you guys are interested, I'll do shorts on every single book of the Old Testament and the New Testament and give you my perspective. A lot of people won't like my perspective. I'm not coming at it as an atheist. I'm actually coming at it as a very different angle. There's a lot of broken truths in the Bible. There are broken messages, and there's a lot of truths in there, and there's a lot of lies as well. And it's written by many different people. I read the Bhagavad Gita. If you look at the words of Krishna and the words of Christ, there's a lot of
intersection.
A lot of similarities, word for word, almost at times. So I believe everything is connected. I think at the end of the day, everything is, if you want to be close to God, you need to lead from love. You need to lead from empathy. That's what we need in humanity. I think we are missing that as soon as we say the other, that person, that group, this and that. As soon as we see others as separate, that's when we are stepping into the dark side, the demonic, all of that. So you don't need to read all the fucking books. Just be a good person, have a big heart, love each other.
So that's what the religions get right.
Yeah. Yeah, and you'll find it in every religion. You'll find it in the Quran.
What do they get wrong?
What do they get wrong? The genocidal fucking wars that they fought for their tribe because they're the chosen tribes. And not just the Jews, the Christians, the Muslims. They all fucking genocided each other. Everybody genocided. The Balkans genocided each other. Everybody thinks they're the ones chosen by God. It's a broken fucking message. We are all God. We are all cells of God. We can disagree as much as we want. This is my perspective. We are all God looking at himself or itself. So we need to treat each other with love. because we are all connected.
So the ultimate is love. Everything's centered on love.
Love
at the
and
end of the day.
empathy.
Yes, but our egos lead us. That's what
Egos are necessary to move in.
They do. It's a masculine energy, and love and nurture is a feminine energy, and I think that you can't live without both. I think both are equally as
We
important.
come here in our meat suits
So,
from the other reality.
this is your perspective.
We come here to enter our meat suits and play this game to learn a lesson.
And then we transcend.
And then we transcend, whether you want to look at it as a simulation or the astral realm or whatever you want to call it, heaven. We go back there and they're like, whoa, these fucking AI glasses were sick, bro. Fucking fell in love, lost some people, fucking, okay.
Let's go.
Let's go again.
Next lifetime.
That's my perspective. But
Last and final question.
you learn things.
Last and final question on my end. Status, work, identity aside, who are you?
Who am I? I think I'm just a spirit that came here into this realm that's trying to find out who he is and what the world is, and lead myself to lead all of us in a good direction to love each other. That's my biggest.
And if you were to assign yourself one word, what would that word be?
Curious.
Maybe one more. If there was one final message that you had for the world right now in this very present moment that you would want everyone to hear, what would that message be?
Always lead from love each other, as cliche as it sounds, and fucking educate yourself. Stop fucking outsourcing your education to a fucking 2-second video or a screen. If you want to learn something, travel on the topic, meet people who are on that topic, and read as many books and watch as many documentaries.
Be open to people who are different than you and think differently than you and have different opinions.
And if somebody has a different opinion, you don't pin them and say that's the devil. Sit with them, because they're also humans like you who had their own experience that formed their opinions.
You got to do the uncomfortable shit, sit through the uncomfortable moments. That's the shit that makes your brain and your heart and your soul grow.
And then if you could see the human in a person who thinks completely different from you, and learn something from them. You don't have to be friends with them, but like you sit with them, be cordial with them, learn something from them or how they think. So it either bolsters your opinion or it proves you wrong in some ways or teaches you new things and new perspectives. But you need to show love no matter how fucking shit someone is.
Speaking of shit, I really got to go take one, and I'm cooking right now in the sun. Let's wrap
love you
things
very
up.
much.
Love you too. Mwah.
Guys,
good job.
Make sure you like, subscribe, follow. This was a special episode since we wanted to have this chat for a long time. Let us know what you
more
think.
to come. We're just warming up.
Yeah, we were just having fun today.
Literally and figuratively.
And if there's anything you guys want me to chat about in the next episodes or in my content.
Or if you want me to just fully take over the segment, kick him off, and just...
she's a great interviewer. She interviewed me today. And I'm going to be shooting with Shannon a lot of fun shit. So if there's any short form stuff you want me to talk about, I was thinking of doing an analysis of each book of the Old Testament and the New Testament from my perspective in kind of a weird way.
All right, it's time for Shannon to go cold plunge and sauna with his darling.
134.
All right, let's go.
Thank you guys.